You guys, I'm gonna be totally honest right now. Charlotte and I, we love Kia. We love it so much we made a channel called the Kia Hyundai channel.
You'll never believe what we film.
Really. But there is one thing that they've been missing out on, and that is the fact that their brochures are not exactly accurate. Sorry, Kia Canada, but in today's video, you're definitely gonna wanna watch because we're talking about everything and anything that is in the 2026 refreshed Kia Sportage. Today's trim level is the X line, so this is technically one up from the entry trim model, and there's some features in it that say start on this trim level, but actually start on the entry trim LX.
Yep.
So in today's video, Charlotte and I are giving you a full walkthrough of everything you need to know if you are shopping for the Kia Sportage, more specifically the X line.
With that being said, I think we should just get right into it.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
We'll start off with an exterior walkthrough, talk about the powertrain and the capability of the Kia Sportage, and of course, because this is a refreshed model, we'll be sure to highlight what has changed. And there's no better way to start it than talking about the front end. The front end is entirely new for the Kia Sportage. You'll notice we have a whole lot of vertical going on. So whether that's the slats in our completely blacked out gloss grille, check that out, that's new and fresh, or even our main headlamps. You'll notice the design is completely different and definitely gives the Kia Sportage a bit more of a wide and grown-up look. We've gone away with those boomerang style LED lights and instead have a bold, bright amber daytime running light. Now, I'm a huge fan of ambers. I'll try to keep my personal opinion at minimum here, but I will say this looks good. It definitely stands out, and these will, of course, also be your turn signal indicators. There's no better way to indicate a turn than to make sure everyone sees it. These will get the job done effectively. Your main headlamp is also extremely bright. It is white because it's an LED, so they'll last longer, they'll burn brighter, and they look good. A couple more things that are on this vehicle will be our forward-facing parking sensors. And funny enough, there's actually no mention of our forward parking sensors on Kia's current brochure for the 2026 Sportage. Matter of fact, it says rear parking sensors only start on this trim level, but it starts on the LX. Kia, what's up with that? I'm joking. I'm not mad at you guys, but let's change that.
It's good that it starts on the LX.
It's good that it starts on the LX. That's awesome, but there is some things that are wrong in the brochure. All right, let's get back to what we do have though. Lots of black elements. Now this will largely start on the X-Line model. Something that they introduced in the 2025 model year was to completely black out everything. In the past, we had a lot of gloss accents, but not everything matched. What I mean by that is in the previous Kia emblem, it was a stainless or brushed aluminum finish. Now we have a nice solid black logo. Now the emblem itself is actually pressed into the hood, so it's nice, it's low profile, and it definitely adds to the modern and luxurious approach to the Sportage. For safety, we have some great safety functions on the LX model, so things like forward collision avoidance assist, so that'll pick up any risks of collisions, warn you as a driver, and also apply brake force to avoid said collision. There's also going to be a fantastic lane safety system, so that includes both lane keep assist and lane follow assist, both of which sound very similar but operate differently. The first one, lane keep assist, will let you know with an audible alert and some gentle correction if you're starting to verge in and out of your lane. And then the second one, lane follow assist, will see upcoming curves ahead on the road and steer for you. So a bit more of a proactive safety function rather than reactive. All right, let's pop the hood and talk powertrain. So powertrain has not changed since last year. We still get a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated inline 4-cylinder. It'll produce 187 horsepower with 178 pound-feet of torque. Give it a lift. We still have a prop arm. I'm not mad about it. There we are. And when it comes to our transmission, we have an 8-speed, smooth shifting, regular automatic transmission with a torque converter. So no CVT on the Kia Sportage, no dual clutch, just a regular automatic, which again is tried and true and is a customer favorite. If you are planning on towing with this vehicle, you have 3,500 pounds when properly equipped, which is a fantastic towing capacity on the car, and you do get all-wheel drive standard on the X-Line models. I'll talk more about the all-wheel drive system in a second. Till then, let's take a look at our wheels. So we have new alloy designs across the entire Sportage lineup for 2026, but the X-Line and the top trim level X-Line Limited will share the exact same design for these 19-inch alloys. They're completely gloss black, so a nice, bold, dark look. And because we have quite large openings in the alloy, you get a good look at your brakes. I will say when it comes to black wheels, it is nice to have a little bit more spokage because then you can see a little bit more. It doesn't look like just a black hole. You can tell it's a wheel. That's just my little bit of personal opinion. Your center cap is completely covering your lugs. So again, just gives it a cleaner look. You get a little bit of dark chrome for the Kia emblem, so giving more metallic twists. And then for your tire, it's a Michelin tire, so more of a premium tire brand, and it's all season. For the all-wheel drive system, like I mentioned earlier, standard on this trim level, but it does have a front-wheel drive bias. So what that means is if you're on a regular road, the weather's dry, there's no real climate conditions, the vehicle will primarily be in front-wheel drive to give you the best fuel efficiency and overall drive feel. If you do turn onto a gravel road, mud mode, just any sort of uneven surface, the vehicle will automatically redistribute its torque to give you better traction for that condition. However, there is also a dial inside the vehicle, which Charlotte will show once we hop into that inside of the car, that allows you to select snow mode, mud mode, and sand mode, each of which already has its programming to tune the vehicle to those conditions. So it'll change the torque distribution, it'll change your stability control, even the steering and throttle response to make sure your vehicle can handle whatever you throw at it. All right, I'll quickly talk about the wheel arches. It's just a regular black plastic cladding, not overdone. It doesn't look like body armor on the car, and make sure the vehicle still has a nice sleek look. Then as we work our way up to the windshield, you can see in the very center we have our camera. That is the camera that will be utilized for your forward safety, so things like that collision avoidance as well as the steering assistance. Your mirrors are finished in gloss black, so regardless of your exterior paint, you get this beautiful, beautiful look. And then you have an LED turn signal indicator. You also get blind spot detection on the X-Line model. And then in terms of some more advanced safety functions, we do get a smart cruise control system on this car. So that is powered by our radar plate located in the very front end of the car, which I realized I didn't show you guys, so let me show you now. It's kind of hard to spot the radar plate at first glance because we got so much black on the front end of this car, but it is right here underneath your license plate. And if you happen to be shopping in Ontario, Canada, might I say, I've had great experience at Brantford Kia.
No way.
I worked there. It's great. No, seriously, if you're in Ontario and you are looking for a new Kia vehicle, or even used, because we do sell used cars, hit up Brantford Kia. We'll take care of you. Could even be new Kia Sportage. All right, anyway, smart cruise control, so that uses the radar to make sure you're always at a safe distance from your car and the car ahead of you. You can change it on the fly thanks to your steering wheel button, and it's super easy to use. It's also very realistic and customizable to your driving style. So if you find the reaction speed is a little too dull for you, you can adjust it and make it more so how you would drive. All right, let's take a look at the roof rails. The roof rails are special for the X-Line model. So they are a raised or ladder style roof rail. Gloss black up on the top with some matte black for the actual laddering portion. You do also get some touches of gloss black along your pillars. I will say all the gloss black is on the outside, thank goodness. If you can tell by our description or title of today's video, the inside has some new material that really add to the customer experience. All right, for your door handles, you do get proximity entry. This is by far one of my favorite and most underrated functions on a car. It essentially means you can keep the key somewhere on you, whether it be in your bag or in your pocket, even just in your hand. Simply walk up to the vehicle on the driver or passenger front door, press the button, and the vehicle will unlock and lock for you. You don't have to dig for your key and try to find the button every single time to unlock your car to hop in. Really makes a difference. I don't have it in my personal vehicle anymore, and it makes me want to cry sometimes. This black pillar here as well, so C-pillar in the rear. I think it's fantastic. On other trim levels of the Kia Sportage, that will be a chrome material. It'll be all black on the X-Line and X-Line Limited. So all the materials we see up at the front continue to the sides and towards the rear, as you can see. So we get those nice black elements throughout. I will say, so you have it on your Kia emblem, you got it on your Sportage badge, but you also have it on your taillight housing. So it gives the illusion of almost a tinted tail lamp, except you're not losing in the safety department. Your tail lamps are still completely visible. They are bold, they are bright, and they are not positioned too low on the vehicle. So people will see when you're braking. You also get your high mounted stop lamp. And integrated into the spoiler, we'll actually have a rear wiper hidden underneath. So it definitely cleans up the back end of the vehicle, giving it a more modern look and keeping snow and ice off of your rear wiper. So open up the lift gate. No power lift gate on the X-Line model, but we do get it on the EX trim level above. Space-wise, we're looking at about the same space as last year, as again, this is a redesign, not a full refresh, and it's ginormous. There is seriously a lot of space in this car. I will do a full leg extension. You can see my feet are not at the side. And if I were to do, I hope the bottom of my shoes are clean.
They are, you're good.
I'm fully sat up straight. My head is not touching the roof. It is very comfortable back here. I would definitely recommend this for a drive-in little car date situation, cargo, whatever you want to put back here. There's a lot of space. There's also a light over here, so if you are loading or taking things out of your vehicle at night.
Or going to the drive-in.
There you go. And then we also have a 12 volt. You do have latches on each side to knock down your rear seats. They work really well. Let me get out of the way. And they fold in a 60-40 split. So the 40 went down, the 60 still up. They will actually go almost completely flat, but because our driver seat is a little far back, it did get caught on the backrest there. I will show you one more thing about the Kia Sportage, and that is the fact that we do get a compact spare tire. So nice to have, especially if you are someone driving in Ontario where we have only the finest roads. No debris on our roads ever, so no one ever has to worry about getting a blowout. Just kidding. Our roads suck. It's nice to have a compact spare, believe me. All right, the lower bumper is where you'll see your rear parking sensors. So those ultrasonic sensors, just like what we had up at the front, are also mounted on your rear bumper. That means if you're backing up your vehicle and start getting closer to an object, you will get an audible alert inside the cabin, as well as the visual aid of a very high quality backup camera. Seriously, our backup cameras are fantastic. You can see everything, including the grime on our floor, but it'll also give you parking guidelines. So as you turn your wheels, the dynamic guidelines will move too to show exactly where your vehicle will end up when you are parking. And then my last point I want to talk about is the fuel efficiency and the fuel tank size. So our fuel tank door is operated by giving it a push. As long as the car is unlocked, it'll open for you. So if it's not opening, your car is probably locked or it's frozen shut. And here we are, we have a 54-liter tank. It consumes regular unleaded fuel, so 87 is just fine. And we have a fuel efficiency rating of about 8.9 liters per 100 kilometers, which is actually better than last year's model.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, that is enough for me. Charlotte's gonna take you guys on a tour of the inside where you'll see no piano black.
Spoiler alert.
And a whole lot more.
And a whole lot more. All right, so let's dive right in and take a look at the interior. Now, before we go and give a full pan of the cabin, let's take a look at the driver's side door because it has some of my favorite materials that are replacing piano black. So this is not something that's new, but we did see this wood grain trim in last year's X-Line and X-Line Limited, but where it extends is new this time, which is really nice. So in addition to that, you'll also see a little bit more traditional chrome on the interior with our door handles, and then for your mirrors, they are going to be electronically controlled. We have one obstacle detecting and paint protected window, and then just our regular speaker system in this vehicle as well. For the X-Line, when it comes to your seat, you are lucky enough to have a power driver's seat, so you're able to bring it forwards, backwards. It is height adjustable, and you can also adjust your backrest in addition to the lumbar support. So definitely very comfortable depending on whatever your seating needs may be. On this side, you'll notice again, we're continuing with that wood grain trim stretching all the way across. We have our brightness adjuster, traction control, and your electronic parking brake. All right, do you want to come around?
Yes, Pat is on.
He is on.
Why does that make me nervous?
I know. I feel like I'm being evaluated.
Right? All right, another look at the front end. You can see a lot of more vertical elements this time. And again, let us know if you missed the boomerang daytime running lights, but I will say, I do think this is a more grown-up look for the Kia Sportage. Maybe it's less fun, but it's definitely more grown up. All right, there's our turn signal indicators. Can you do it one more time, Char?
Yep.
You'll have it on your mirrors, and I'll just quickly show the rear as well. So there you go. It's very nice to have our indicators mounted at a perfect eye level, so they're not positioned too low on the car. Just makes sense. All right, let's hop in now. All
right, so from here you can take a look at the synthetic leather seats that we have. I really like that we have a quilted insert. It just makes it feel a little bit more of that, you know, blacked out, rugged appearance that the X-Line is really known for. And when it comes to the seat, it's going to be a manual passenger seat, so it is manually adjustable. Some of our other differences, again, seeing more of that trim stretching all the way across the dash, which I love, but our steering wheel is completely different as well. So it is a 2-spoke design, flat on the top, flat on the bottom with the off-centered Kia logo, but then we also have integrated drive and terrain modes on the steering wheel, which is something that is totally new. So on this side, you're going to have your driving controls and your drive modes, of course. So from here, you can go and enable that cruise control. You can also go and adjust the following distance and your lane keep settings. Then on this side, it's going to be media and terrain controls, of course. So media mode, a virtual assistant, calling, and a favorites button. Now, I want to show you guys this notes icon, of course, because with that, you're going to be able to cycle between this 4.2-inch screen. It's going to show you things like your power distribution, your tire pressure, and then from here you can also see how the vehicle responds to you as the driver. Now, this does have a full tank. It does not have a lot of mileage on it, but it is currently reading at 641 kilometers, which is definitely great. And of course, as you drive the vehicle more, as it learns more about how your driving habits, that number is going to change to accurately reflect it. So it could be better or it could be worse. There you go. Okay, back to your drive and terrain modes. Of course, they're steering wheel mounted. So normal, sport, and a customizable My Drive as well. So you can see all of those options there. And then for your terrain modes, you have snow, mud, and sand. You do have a digitized speedometer and tachometer. However, it's not this area that's going to change unless it is the color of the hash marks. So it's really just this screen that is a screen, if that makes sense. Lighting stock and wiper stock. And then of course we have our 12.3-inch multimedia screen, which is standard actually on the Kia Sportage. And with this, you are going to get the beloved wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and I absolutely love this software. I think it's fantastic. As we take a look down below, we have real knobs, and we have a switchable infotainment and climate control cluster. So right now it's set to your infotainment, so all of these are going to quick jump you into areas onto your screen. And then if you press the fan button, it's going to give you access to your climate control and also change to be the temperature gauge. If you want it to default to 1, you simply just have to go and press down, and it should go and give you the option. Where'd you go? Unless this one doesn't do it. All right, it's not giving me the option 2, so that's really good. Misinformation at its finest.
No, the car is wrong. It's not you.
Yeah, you're right. Down below, this is going to be the starting trim for a wireless phone charger as well. And then if you do want to use any type of wired connectivity, you have dual USB-Cs as well. Now, this center console, this center area really excites me because I love that it is the wood grain trim. I love that it's not piano black. We're continuing with a lot of the same elements, and this is completely new. So I really am a big fan. You do have your heated seats and heated steering wheel with 2 levels of heat, and then you have 3 levels of heat for the front 2. A regular gear shift as well. And then over here for some driving and convenience controls, you have your downhill braking assist, idle stop and go, which is the feature that when you bring the vehicle to a stop, it will temporarily shut off the engine, then turn it back on as you hit the gas. Your parking sensors, your rear view camera, which will come up as the vehicle is put into reverse, as well as with your parking monitor. So with those sensors on the vehicle, if it detects that you could hit anything in the proximity, it will give you a beep and also show you on the picture of the aerial picture of the car in red, yellow, or green how close you are. The last feature we have is also going to be auto hold. So when enabled, bring the vehicle to a full and complete stop. You can actually take your foot completely off the brake. It's going to hold you there until you put your foot back on the gas. So pretty nice tech. Finally, for the Sportage, we're seeing our flat and oversized key, but it is slim profile, so handy for fitting in your pocket. And you do have integrated remote start. However, you also have that with Kia Connect, which is standard. So it's going to give you the option to basically remote start the car via telematics, which can be your smartphone integration. You got your cup holders, of course. They pop out. Great amount of hidden storage space with the inclusion of a 12-volt. And then up top, nice black headliner, which is a part of the X-Line package. And then you'll also notice we have some of our bulb lighting on the interior. And then our controls here for roadside assistance or for emergency assistance, again, in conjunction with our telematics.
I'm gonna say a hot topic
Okay.
thing. I actually prefer bulb lighting for the interior because I find it's more warm. It's a little bit more comforting. Yeah, it's softer.
Softer for when you're trying to do your makeup.
Exactly. LEDs are great for the outside, but you ever look at yourself in the drop-down vanity mirror and you got that fluorescent lighting?
And you're like,
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
Okay, here is a question for you guys. If you're in the chat and if you're watching in the future, for the comments down below, did your parents ever make it seem like it was illegal to turn the lights on when you were driving at night? Because you better believe mine did.
It still
And
feels
my dad's
wrong.
on right now, so
You can't do that.
yeah, it still feels wrong.
All right. Back seat review.
Backseat review. So I like a lot of the details that we have back here. Whew. I'll also point out that if you are looking at this and you're thinking these seats are way too straight, that's almost 90 degrees, they are adjustable, so you can recline them back. You probably can't see anything. You probably just saw my belly. Love that for me. But it is very comfortable back here, and you also have a great amount of amenities. So for instance, this back area of the headrest is going to double as a coat rack or bag holder to keep the bottom completely clutter-free. That way you can make the most of the legroom that you have back here. You have a little hook here, which is great for wrapping up cords, especially because you have seat-mounted USB-Cs as well. Both are going to have a pocket. You have rear air vents, a little convenience pocket down there as well. And when it comes to the seats, I like that the main seating components are still going to have that nice quilted insert. Just makes it feel like the back seat isn't forgotten about. Then you have a drop-down adjustable armrest with cup holders. Very wide middle seat as well. I can show you what that looks like. This is all-wheel drive, so we are going to have a little bit of a hump, but it was slightly exaggerated with the carpet. So here's what you're going to look like when you are in your middle seat. You have about 38 inches of headroom back here, same thing as in the front, so definitely a great amount of space. You have sets of rear latch anchors for car seats and dual sets of lower latch anchors as well for car seats. And I actually drove a Kia Sportage. It was, of course, the previous generation for a couple years, and it can handle a rear-facing car seat no problem.
Awesome. In the airbag department, we got 8 of them. I'm not sure if that was mentioned.
Yes, 8 different airbags. Currently unrated by the IIHS because this is a new model for collision. But the Kia Sportage has always done well, so we're still continuing to expect great things.
All right. Charlotte, we actually do have some questions, so let's tackle them. The first one I can remember without checking the log again. Someone asked, what trim level do you get the dial gear shift? So it's not actually a trim level, it is a type of Sportage. We will only get the rotary style gear shift on the hybrids or plug-in hybrid models. The gas models will all have a regular lever style gear shift. I feel like I always have to do the hand gestures, but.
Full-size spare tire, please, not biscuit size. At least we've got one.
At least
That's
we've
all
got
I'm
one.
gonna say.
I don't think anybody does full-size spare tires unless it's like a Jeep Wrangler or a Ford Bronco. No one really does full-size spares. Sorry.
If your Apple phone has an OtterBox case, can it be charged without using a cable? So long as it's compatible with a wireless phone charger, yes. So some of the more armored ones, I know sometimes they state, armored, I know it sounds silly, sometimes state that they are not compatible, but they usually on the box, it will state if it's compatible or not with wireless charging. Because wireless charging isn't exclusive to cars, right?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, what's the difference between all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive? So all-wheel drive is typically, a lot of it's computer controlled. So I know the all-wheel drive system in this vehicle, if it senses a little bit of different terrain or slippage on the Sportage, it will incorporate more power to the rear. But 4x4 you usually find in trucks or more off-road style SUVs, like body-on-frame SUVs. Mm-hmm. And that actually allows you to do 50-50 splits from the locking differential, so the mechanical. So my truck is a rear-wheel drive truck, but it does have 4x4. I only ever drive it in 2x4. I guess. I love calling it 2x4. I only ever like driving it in rear-wheel drive because fuel efficiency savings, of course. But if I do need my 4x4, I can turn it on. I do have to put my vehicle in neutral and then change it. So it's not really an on-the-fly type thing. It's more so just, okay, we're stuck. We need 4x4. 2x4, 4x2, whatever you guys want to call it. I got one of them.
It's a piece of wood.
2x4 pickup trucks. But we're thinking about doing a podcast episode on this. If you guys want it to get more technical with it,
let us know.
We can. But the main concern is if you're shopping for a general SUV, you're most likely looking at all-wheel drive. There aren't really many SUVs that offer 4x4 unless, again, you're looking at a Wrangler or Bronco, that kind of thing.
Ruthless Biscuit, I know that you have been shopping around probably for Sportage X-Line Limited, if memory serves. Never owned a hybrid. My concern is how hybrids react and perform in harsh cold weather. So the good thing about a hybrid is that it is still working with an internal combustion engine too. So it is, especially in the dead of winter, you still have something that's generating a lot more heat. So if you are, say, doing a cold start or something like that in winter, you still have something that is generating that. So you still are operating with those different mechanical components where, you know, it's not really going to be something where you're going to encounter too many problems on, you know, will the vehicle not start, or, you know, how is it going to perform based on the climate. It'll just change up to optimize engine use over being predominantly in EV mode.
We did get asked by Chester, who sent a super chat.
Oh.
Watching with my friend's kid, can you say roar?
Roar.
You guys ever watch Shrek and that little kid's like, do the roar.
Do the roar.
Do the roar.
That's pretty funny.
Will the 2026 Sportage X-Line offer any new transmission options? No, so it only comes with an 8-speed automatic if you're shopping gas, or 6-speed if you are shopping hybrid, plug-in hybrid.
Is the trunk big enough for a full-size Nuna stroller? That thing is a beast. So I don't have
It's a good question for you.
Yeah, I don't have a Nuna stroller. I have we're getting so technical here. I have the Uppa Baby Vista, which can be a double stroller. This is so bad.
What model? Is that the X-Line model?
Yeah, X-Line Limited, babe. And it does fit. Let me just walk you back to the cargo section. Hold on. This is for all my parents out here. I'm so sorry for everyone else. So when I would load my stroller in, basically, oh my goodness, I almost slipped. Basically, I would have like the wheels right here, and then the full base would go back. It would only take up about half of the cargo capacity. So I could still optimize this area here for like groceries, other things. So it took up about half of the cargo capacity in a hot dog way, not hamburger. Did you guys ever use those hot dog or hamburger folds in school?
I've never heard of such a thing.
Hot dog or hamburger folds? Like for a piece of paper?
I don't know what you're talking about. I gotta be honest.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, there's something new.
Oh, they want to see what the high beams look like. I'll run in and turn them on.
Oh my goodness, we're moving all around today.
We're getting our steps in.
We're getting our steps in.
Okay, you want high beam? I'll give you high beam. I will also say these high beams have intelligent high beam assist. That's the high beam. What are your thoughts on that?
Wow, here, let me show the wall now to show the projection.
Okay, that's regular beam.
Regular.
High.
There you go.
I will say,
Gabby, stop flashing me.
well, high beams never look that impressive on camera. On the road, it's a big difference, especially when you're oncoming.
As opposed to like fully fluorescent lighting.
Yeah.
Goodness.
All right, you guys. I think we answered quite a few. We've got good questions today,
Yeah,
so
you guys
thank
rock.
you. Thank you so much for joining today and asking questions. Usually Charlotte and I are just like, what can we talk about?
I mean, I'm talking about hot dog and hamburger folds.
Yeah. We still got that.
Yeah, we still got that.
Oh, Pat gave us an A+ rating. So on that note,
Yay. We're not fired.
We'll come back tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow, though, live at 2 p.m. with another vehicle, and this time it'll be a Hyundai. Now, if you have any questions that we didn't get to answer in today's walkthrough, please let us know in the comments down below, because Charlotte and I do check that. That is our favorite social media to check, and we will get back to you.
Yeah.
All right. Goodbye, you guys.
Bye.